Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Anthony Davis sounds off on Lakers' split personality. Los Angeles Lakers big man Anthony Davis is opening up about what frustrates him with this team. Davis says Los Angeles seems to have a split personality, considering its inconsistent play. We're just two different teams right now. One game we're this team who showcases to be one of the better teams in the league, then the next we're this team who I don't even know who we are. Anthony Davis on the Lakers' loss to the Pistons. We're just two different teams right now. One game we're this team who showcases to be one of the better teams in the league, then the next we're this team who I don't even know who we are, Davis said to reporters. The Lakers are 4-3 on the season, with new head coach J.J. Redick leading the squad. Los Angeles dropped a tough game to the lowly Detroit Pistons on Monday, 115-103. Los Angeles is looking to return to the NBA Finals, with Redick, Davis and LeBron James making up the core of this team. Davis is doing his part, averaging a double-double. Davis is pouring in more than 32 points a contest, while grabbing close to 12 rebounds. The three-point shot isn't falling for Davis, however. He is shooting an ice-cold 16.7% from three this season. In the Pistons game, Davis went 0 for 4 from beyond the arc in a disastrous performance. Davis hasn't made a shot from the perimeter in his last 4 games. In spite of those offensive woes, Davis is more frustrated with how his team is playing on defense. His frustration only increased after losing to the Pistons. Detroit looked like a juggernaut in transition against Los Angeles. The Pistons also out-rebounded Los Angeles by 18. We just weren't physical. They were very physical and were playing in transition, got open looks from 3. They made some shots early on, but they just didn't feel us early on either end of the floor, Davis said, per Lakers Nation. We were hitting shots, but our defense wasn't there from the start. Davis and his colleagues will have to figure it out quickly. The center is leading his team so far this season in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks. Lakers fans aren't used to the mediocrity they are seeing from the team's record so far. Los Angeles made a lot of headlines this offseason after the team drafted Bronny James. Bronny and his dad LeBron became the first father and son duo to play on the same NBA team at the same time. Bronny is playing a limited role for the club, appearing in just 3 games. The Lakers next play the Memphis Grizzlies on Wednesday night. Bill Simmons hits Bucks with unfixable Midwest Lakers insult. The Milwaukee Bucks should be doing much better to start the 2024-25 season now that Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard have had a full year of experience playing together. Moreover, head coach Doc Rivers now has had a full offseason to make his mark and prepare his squad. But instead, the Bucks have had the worst possible start to the season, going just 1-6 through the first 2 weeks of the new campaign, which is tied for the worst record in the league at present. The most troubling aspect of the Bucks' slow start to the season is the fact that Antetokounmpo has been playing incredibly well to start the season, and yet the Bucks have looked lost, as if their title-contending window has slammed shut. At this point, there are no obvious or easy fixes for the Bucks as they look to remedy their ailing roster, and noted pundit Bill Simmons even went as far as to compare the Bucks to the Los Angeles Lakers in terms of immediate future outlook, while calling Milwaukee's prospects even worse. They're basically the Midwest Lakers. They have an awesome big man, they have an aging offensive star who doesn't play defense. They have nobody else on the team that can play defense, and they have no bench. Unlike the Lakers, there's no fixes, Simmons said on the most recent episode of his eponymous podcast. I don't see a fix. It's an atrocious defensive team. You look at every night after night, after night, after night, they're playing guys in crunch time that would not even play for the Celtics or the Thunder. The Bucks have invested so much in their core 4 of Antetokounmpo, Lillard, Chris Middleton, and Brook Lopez that it'll be difficult for them to acquire the necessary pieces to fix the team's defense. Their depth has also been exposed in the early goings, and they have not developed enough role players via the drafting pipeline to help supplement their aging core. A seismic change could be required to turn the Bucks' fortunes around, although a game against a fellow 1-6 team, the Utah Jazz, on Thursday night could at least get them back on track for the meantime. The 2023 offseason will forever be a pivotal one in Bucks lore. They overreacted following a disastrous first-round exit, firing championship-winning head coach Mike Budenholzer, and then followed that up by trading away Drew Holiday and Grayson Allen for Damian Lillard. These moves drastically altered the team's identity, and they have been suffering because of it. The Bucks had built their incredible roster on an identity of defense, and losing Holiday meant losing a defensive piece that acted as the backbone of their defense. Now, their defense ranks in the bottom third of the league, and the only way, it seems, for them to remedy this is to go big in the trade market. Perhaps it's time to admit that the Lillard trade was a mistake. If you look at what they can do, they can trade Dame, I guess. They have Connaughton and Portis at $22 million combined for this year and next year. Portis has been really bad this year. I don't see any conceivable way this team is a contender. Giannis has been awesome and they're 1-6, Simmons added. Celtics Jayson Tatum reveals he wanted to be drafted by non-Lakers squad. Boston Celtics superstar forward Jayson Tatum has already established himself as one of the best players to don a Celtic jersey in a short amount of time. Tatum has been a Celtic for less than a decade, but he has helped the organization reach the heights it has become accustomed to. The 26-year-old has spent his entire career in Boston, and the hope is that this will remain the case for the rest of his career. Tatum is in his 8th year of his career, all with Boston, but there was a moment when he didn't think Boston would be a good fit for him. The All-Star forward revealed on the Club 520 podcast that he wanted to play for the Phoenix Suns. "I wanted to go to Phoenix," said Tatum. "Phoenix had the 4th pick, Earl Watson was the coach. I went out there, and I looked at houses. The weather was nice, and they had a young team. I was like, man, I'm gonna go get to play. And then I remember Coach K was like, Boston wants to have you for a second workout, so you should go. And I said, Coach, like they just came off the Eastern Conference Finals, they have a veteran team like I'm probably not going to play," and he was raving about Brad Stevens. "I went to Boston 3 days before the draft, had the workout, and the rest is history." Before the Celtics traded back the number 1 overall pick to the number 3 overall pick, Tatum thought he would be on his way to Phoenix. Tatum also admitted that he wanted to be a Laker but said that the Lakers had zero interest in them having the number 2 pick and being high on Lonzo Ball. The 2017 NBA draft class was loaded with talent, and the Celtics arguably got the best player in the draft. Tatum made a name for himself at Duke University, where he was named to the ACC All-Freshman Team and 3rd-team All-ACC in his lone year as a Blue Devil. After the Philadelphia 76ers drafted Markelle Fultz and the Lakers drafted Ball, the Celtics selected Tatum, drafting him with the number 3 overall pick. The trade between the 76ers and the Celtics changed many things, and it ultimately worked out for the Celtics. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Jayson Tatum? Leave your opinion in the comments.